Mm, I'm sitting here on a rock. Okay. This part that I'm going to read is really difficult for me to do. So I'm just gonna read it and then you decide what you want to do. Okay, this is page 147. Play the role of the mistress. A man expects from a woman in the role of the mistress. I remembered the lake and the girl in the yellow dress and her words. Own the body of the man as you own the crystal. Everything a man sees and feels, his mother's caresses and smells, and the smells of his house, what he heard when he was a child. Everything ends up in his subconscious. You are never going to be able to change anything on this level. He will always recreate the world he is used to from childhood around himself. All you can do is to collect information and copy as precisely as possible this world. The five senses are vision, touch, smell, taste, and hearing. The first sense is vision. Everything a man sees around him should correspond to his expectations. Furniture, objects, and the image of the woman. The image of the woman includes the color of her hairstyle, the style of her clothes, her makeup, and her shoes. A woman notices details. Men see the whole, and this whole should be harmonious and organized. Every man has his own image of the ideal woman, so you need to learn it and match it. Any man at the beginning tries to change a woman so she will fit his ideal image by advising or buying things for her, sometimes criticizing her choice. And if the woman struggles for her independence and refuses to follow the man's wishes, he would rather change the woman than his ideals. So choose another woman. However, he is ready to change his image under your sensitive guidance. Therefore, he asks you to help him to choose a shirt, a tie, a suit. Some men want someone to look after their appearance. Do it very correctly. Try to select for him only beautiful and expensive things. A good-looking man is often down to the merit of his wife, and a man is grateful for her doing. Remember that we better understand details. Remember that we better understand details, so show your taste and help a man to choose. But advise softly instead of dictating or imposing. Don't buy him things using your money before he becomes your husband. Don't become a mommy. The second sense is touch. These people around me think I'm crazy. Men require touch and learn the world through touch. They should touch what they see to understand how it fits them. For a man to see means to touch, but on the other hand, they thirst for the touches of a woman. Therefore, the best way to keep the man is to keep him in your embraces. Passing by, don't forget to touch a special place on his body which is known only to you. Gently with your hand and to kiss him. Sorry, the translation is not so good. I think it's to gently touch him with your hand and then to kiss him. Every morning you should begin not with a formal kiss on the cheek, but with a real French kiss continuing not less than 7 seconds. The kiss preserves the man against unpleasant incidents and from the claims of other women. Kissing the man in the morning, you include him in your energy circle, and he becomes less approachable by other women. And once a week, you need to please a man with massage. If his beloved doesn't do it, a man will search for touches somewhere else. The body thirsts to be touched. Modern men are especially starved of caresses. The third dominant is the sense of smell. The smell of the beloved is inexpressibly pleasant, but we hide this smell sometimes with the wrong choice of perfumes. Therefore, allow a man to choose a perfume for you. The wind is blowing. Therefore, allow a man to choose a perfume for you, but at the same time, don't tell anybody what smell attracts him. Don't tell other women which smell he likes. Aroma renders the strongest influence, and you need to be very cautious so that other women couldn't take advantage of this knowledge and entice your man away. Funny. The smell of space of the house is very important too. Men are more sensitive to smells than women, and the smell of a cooking meal is unpleasant for them. Therefore, men don't like the kitchen. It's good when there is a dining room where he can enjoy the taste of the dishes. The only smell which gives rise to sexual desire is the smell of vanilla. Therefore, try to add vanilla to everything. Don't forget that the smell. Don't forget that the smell which is most unpleasant for men is the smell of old age. Everything should breathe freshness and cleanliness. Don't store old things and don't invite a man to visit old relatives. Fill the house with freshness and the sun, and hang out things yearly to be freshened by the sun. Light destroys the smell of old age. Therefore, try to fill the house with bright light. The fifth sense is hearing. Perhaps here is the fundamental distinction between a man and a woman. For women, hearing is in second place. Therefore, women are creatures which like to talk when they are joyful and when they are sad. They wish to share their ideas, their deeds during the day with the whole world. But for the man, hearing is in last place. He can't listen to a woman closely or carefully longer than 20 seconds. It doesn't mean that he isn't interested in your experiences, dreams, and daily life. It's just that due to the organization of his brain, a man ceases to perceive us in 20 seconds. And listen closely to the man. Any man wants to be listened to. Therefore, listen to him with an open mouth, without being distracted by the preparation of meals, the cleaning of the house, or other such things. Otherwise, a man will feel different ears that will listen to his every word. Otherwise, a man will find other people to listen to him, other women. The only things a man never gets tired of hearing are compliments. Praise his advantages, not imaginary or flattery, but real, and you will always find a subject for conversation. My dear girl, here is a summary of what a man expects from you in the role of the mistress. He expects care, but the kind of care is significant for him. Therefore, I will repeat once again, the more you know what a man expects, the easier it will be for you to become the woman of his dreams. I kiss you. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay. Every girl should be taught the art of erotic massage. Like in India, where the true woman should be the master of 64 different arts. Morning caresses are the most powerful weapon. We can take hold of the man completely in the morning. The display of his sexuality in the morning is the best opportunity to satisfy and please a man. The woman who will be with him at this moment will be able to satisfy his desire, will be in his thoughts for the rest of the day. If you want a ma- if you want a man to give all his desire only to you, never refuse his love in the morning. Ask him for advice. The first visit to shops are important, I think. The main thing is to remember that a man can't stand shopping no longer than half an hour. That's true. Something is on my back. If a man wants to invest in your house, it means he starts to feel like it's its owner. Certainly, men don't like shops, but they love the moment of payment, confirming them in their status and the ability to pay. When they get their wallet or sign the check, they inform the entire world of their power. Therefore, if a man is ready to pay, you shouldn't humiliate him with refusal, to doubt his abilities. You need to allow a man to invest in you. There is a reasonable saying, women spend and men invest. Like, okay, we connected the. Oh, what's this now? I think this is a small ritual for negative feelings. We connect the thumbs and index fingers on both hands, making the ring of Venus. And we put our fingers at the corners of the lips. I don't know which is the index finger, I think this one. We connect the thumbs and the index finger on both hands, making the ring of Venus. And we put our fingers at the corners of the lips. Inhaling, we stretch our smile. With the fingers, we lift the smile up to the temples. Inhaling. This is so funny. We stretch the smile with the finger. We lift the smile up to the temples. On the pause between breaths, we fasten the smile. I don't know what that means. We fasten the smile and exhaling, we release it. Oh, I think, oh yeah. My eyes start to shine brightly. I smiled involuntarily and all negative feelings disappeared. Okay, this is funny. Okay, let's try. Oh, maybe you're supposed to open your mouth. Okay. Within the man bought her a gift. He bought her a cross. The cross was inexpensive, $50. So such a gift fitted to the concept of my great-grandmother to show attention, but not to shower the man with gifts and emotions. I don't understand. Oh, he gave her a gift, but it's not like a great gift. But it shows a little bit of attention. So if it shows a little bit of attention, you should not shower him in return with gifts and emotions. Okay. Someone is skipping. Okay. Love is a woman's business because man has other tasks. Men have other tasks. You should change from an unpolished stone into a diamond. It is certainly a hackneyed comparison, but it's true. And the more facets you will have, the more looks you will attract. You know, if Mark really wanted to be with you, he would not surrender without a struggle. Sometimes amputation allows a life to be saved. Silly affection. Stand up and imagine at the level of your third eye there is a beam, I think it's here, which snatches out of the darkness an image of Mark. Have you imagined it? Okay, stand up and imagine the image. On the level of your third eye there is a beam which snatches out of the darkness an image of the man. Now with your right hand make cutting movements from the top to the bottom and from left to right, severing this beam, removing the image of the man from your thoughts. Repeat these movements 3 times. So like this and then cut, cut 3 times. Now imagine this beam leaving your heart, shining with that moment when you felt tenderness for each other. Make the same cutting movements, removing this connection. I chopped off the connection too and felt something pulling free of my breast. And now imagine a beam at the level of your solar plexus. Solar plexus is here. And now imagine a beam at the level of your solar plexus, which is snatching out from the darkness the moment when you showed care for him. So from here, starting out and then snatching in your imagination. And now at the level of the bottom of your stomach, imagine a beam showing your most passionate scene. I remembered our first night when, through the delight and passion, and with a greater regret, broke this connection. I stood still for some time, listening to my own listening to my own sensations, and suddenly understood that I wanted to fly up. I finally felt released from those chains which I had created for myself. I am ready for new discoveries. Yeah. The priestesses of the elements. A long time ago there was a thermal spring. Now it. Okay, where is this now? Because she's talking about the place. Yes, it's only to 12. The birth of the women in the dance of the elements. I have no idea where they are. Where are they? Mm. Charmonics. There are charmonics. I don't know where that is. Chamonix. Okay. A long time ago there was a thermal spring here. Now it isn't used, but the power and energy of this place has remained. And then around the structure a circle of torches flared, transforming it into a mystical temple. Music started playing, and Aruna took my hands and led me inside. I saw a deep well in the center, and around it there were 4 girls in blue, yellow, red, and green dresses. The dresses were similar to those my great grandmother had described. Aruna guessed my state, handed me a white dress and a beautiful but empty box, and taking away my things, she disappeared. The music began to play louder, and the girl in the green dress, the priestess of the elements of water, began to dance. She seemed impudent and direct. She was not afraid to look ridiculous and cheerful. Her dance was joyful. She gave her all to the dance. She danced for herself and allowed others to admire her. She embodied the pleasure of life and desire which she wanted to share with the entire world. I joined her cheerful dance, feeling like a carefree and fun-loving girl. But the music ended and the girl in the green dress stopped and handed me a sapphire. Have I read this before? I think I have. Whatever. In this stone is the spirit of the element of water. Water gives you emotional authority. Take it and rain over the hearts of men, just as surely as you own this stone, she said, and disappeared. I held the jewel in my hands, but didn't know what to do with it. Suddenly I remembered the box and cautiously placed the stone on the soft velvet inside. Right. Okay. The lithe girl in the golden yellow dress appeared. Her dance was sedate and quiet, measured and thorough. She stepped as if stomping the ground, gaining the strength. I tried to adjust myself to this energy, but it was difficult for me to merge with it. Therefore I felt relief when the girl in the golden dress stopped and handed an emerald to me. In this stone is the spirit of the element of earth. The earth gives you physical authority. Take this stone and own the body of man just as surely as you own this stone," the girl in the yellow dress said, and dissolved into the darkness of the night. As soon as I put the stone in the box, the girl with a boyish figure in blue dress rushed into the space. She looked brave and cool, imperious and assured. Her dance reminded me of the dance of the freedom-loving Amazons. It was gutsy and prompt. I joined it, but felt that I couldn't get the rhythm and enter and I couldn't enter the special state. But gradually I remembered all of the techniques for the state of the queen and blended with the impudent and independent rhythms. I think I've read this before. So let me skip this part. And then it ends with all the women come and they dance, and then at the end, Aruna comes again. She says, "The time of transformation has come." And Aruna said, and put the diadem on my head. "I congratulate you on having passed all the circles of feminine power. Now you should transfer this knowledge to others. When you will receive the gift of 4 more stones, you will be worthy to bear the wisdom and power of the true woman throughout the world." Oh, it's the end of the book. 167 pages. The end. Because maybe I should read this last part. Let me go back. I feel like I've read this though. When the dance ended, the girl handed me a diamond and said, "In this stone is the spirit of the element of air. It gives you mental authority. Take this stone and own the will and mind of men just as surely as you own the stone." And the girl in the blue dress left. There should be still the priestess of fire, I thought, and immediately fireworks flared around me. And while I admired the multicolored flames on a stone plate closing the old spring, a fire started to burn. The invisible music played louder, and the dark-haired girl in the red dress suddenly appeared. Imagine that the flames spring from your center of passion. Repeat all the movements after me. Putting her hands on the bottom of her stomach. Oh, something stinks so bad. Something died here. So, mm, God. Putting her hands on the bottom of her stomach and having thrown off the dress, she remained naked. Only the red gold belt decorated her waist. The sound of drums were heard, and the priestess of the element of fire began her dance. Her hips swayed like the tongues of flames, drawing and eights and circles. The was like this with her hips. The rhythm accelerated, and she began to move her hips forward and back, and as though making love with the fire. Her legs stood firmly on the ground. Inhaling, she directed her hips to the flames, and exhaling, brought them back. Gradually, the rhythm grasped me too, and already in a half trance, I repeated her movements, trying to keep a connection with the flame. Plunging into my sensations, I didn't notice how a naked man had appeared beside the priestess. Only a loincloth covered his nakedness. He was tall and brawny. He exuded an animal passion and primitive force. He stood opposite the priestess and began to do counter movements, inhaling as he moved his hips back and exhaling, making a strong thrust. They moved in unison, going toward each other, and I stopped. bewitched by the beauty and coordination of the movements. They slowly approached each other, and after a few moments they merged with each other, continuing the movement. But immediately they gradually began to move apart, and suddenly the man turned to me as if inviting me to repeat the same ritual. From him there was a powerful wave which I couldn't resist. I made my first shy steps, being afraid to lift my eyes. Then he approached me, lifted my chin, and with a look darkened with passion looked at me. Taking his extended hand, I joined in the movement. Looking into his eyes, I began to move towards him. Gradually, the rhythm and sounds of his breath grasped me, and when I felt the heat of his body against me, I was not frightened. I felt how imperiously and strongly he pressed himself to me, and for some time we moved, melding with each other. Though the fabric of my dress and the fabric of his loincloth, I felt his excitement. I shivered with desire. The music became quieter when he released me and turned me face to the fire, embracing my shoulders. The girl with the red belt silently came up to me and handed me a ruby. In this stone there is the spirit of the element of fire. It gives you sexual authority. And take it and own the desire of men, just as surely as you own this stone. And the red girl disappeared. I stood by the fire holding the box of the jewels and not understanding what I should do next. But Aruna appeared with the 4 priestesses who suddenly bore my diadem on a gold tray. In amazement, I understood that the stones ideally fit the 4 apertures of the diadem. The priestess. Ooh, where am I now? The priestess stood around me and closed the circle. The left hand, with the palm downwards, is the taking hand. Aruna started speaking in a deep voice. Fiery magma from the center of the earth enters our feet and is directed upwards to the womb. From above, the transparent light and easy stream of energy of space enters our palms and falls to our womb. And emerging, these two streams start to untwist in a whirlpool. The whirlpool, I don't understand. Energy of space enters our palms and falls to our womb. And merging, these two streams start to untwist in a whirlpool. The whirlpool rises higher and higher and gradually reaching the tips of our fingers, merges in one stream of feminine energy. And by this stream of energy, all the women of the world are joined. All of those who lived before us and who live now and those who will live after us. And then it says, the time of transformation has come. Congratulate you. Now you should transfer the knowledge to others. When you will receive the gift of 4 more stones, you will be worthy to bear the wisdom and power of the true woman throughout the world. So did I read anything in this book? All the things I underlined now. Okay. If there is something else, I will do another video. But for now it's finished. Bye guys.